the dark.
Hello, my friends. My name is Burton, and I am the host of the Michigan metal podcast, Lost in the Dark podcast. And I would like to introduce you to an all-new, all-paranormal podcast called Follow the Reaper, where I examine all true first or second-hand listener-submitted paranormal or unexplainable encounters of any kind. So if you or anyone you know has a story that they would like to share or have shared on the show, please reach out to us on social media or Gmail at Follow the Reaper Podcast. I would love to hear from you. And of course, please enjoy this episode of Lost in the Dark. Oh, it is so good to have you back tonight. Look, this is probably the first time that I've ever done a solo episode on video. This is going to be a solo episode. I don't really know how this is going to go or even how long it's going to be. I just am fully aware that it has now been the longest stretch of time that all of us over here at Lost in the Dark have not released a video. It's been, as of the time of this recording, it's been, I think, a month and 7 days. So let's right off the top take care of some shit. All right, you bad motherfuckers. Let's get this video demonetized immediately. All right, here we go. Demonetized. There we go. Fuck off. Now we can do whatever we want. Not that any of my videos have ever been monetized to begin with. No, I just wanted to honestly, like, the reason why I wanted to do this episode solo is just that, like, this has been the longest stretch of time, I think, since this podcast has started that we haven't released something, and I just felt the need to come out here and talk to you guys and let you all know what's been going on for the past month. So basically, it's been a little, I'm always honest with everybody. It's been a little difficult to get a hold of Aaron. Of course, in the coming days, you will see a few episodes with Aaron. These were all recorded months ago. A lot of what you're about to see come out over the next week or so, and I'll tell this in the intros of all those videos. I'll tell you when they were recorded. Most of them were recorded end of January, early February, that area, middle of, maybe even some in the middle of like of February. There's only one that I recorded in March, Vile Tyrant. You'll see that one. I literally just did a whole intro and outro for that one. Kind of explaining why I seemed so off, because I'm a little embarrassed. That was one of my not so great I did not. They were great. Vile Tyrant was fantastic, but I was not on the top of my game on that one for sure. So I'm just here to kind of explain everything and everything that's been going on. So what you're about to see roll out over the next week or two are mostly things that were recorded in the first chunk of this year up to now. Not a lot was recorded at all in March, except for the episode with Vile Tyrant. Reason for all of this is totally on me. It's totally on me. But first, let's go back to, give me just 1 second here. Let's go back to February. First thing I want to talk about tonight. Wait, what the fuck was that? Sorry, what is this? What? Hang on. I'm sorry. Oh, okay. Never mind. All right. Sorry. I just thought I saw something like a band post something brand new right now okay, I was wrong. Um, but no, what I want to go back to right away. Yes. What do we got? Seriously? Wow. Okay. Well, I'm not cutting anything from this episode out because I'm not going to do an intro and outro. You guys are just going to see all this raw. Um, fuck. I can't believe. I'm sorry, everybody. I am so sorry. Holy shit. Okay. I did just see some news. But we will get into that later. I am so sorry, everybody. Hang on. The first thing I wanted to talk about, it's got to be on my Facebook page. Um, I just want to get the date. All I'm trying to do is get a fucking date right. Because I know I posted it. Like, there we go. There it is. All right. Sorry. I am so sorry. Okay. So, again, not cutting any of that out. You guys are seeing everything raw. Um, so back on first thing I want to talk about coming back on February 11th at the Music Factory in Battle Creek, Michigan. Preston and I went to a show. And the show that we went to was the Michigan Metal Battle for the Crown. And this show featured the likes of Voluntary Mortification, I Decide I, Mantra of Mantra. Mantra of Mantra was fucking incredible, by the way. And of course, our family, our absolute fucking family, the Wendagos of Wisconsin, Casket Robbery was at that show, headlining that show. And it's like, this was a show, and I think I even talked to them a little bit about this on the episode that they were on, but this was a show that, like, they kind of got boned a little bit last year at Metal Fest because they got rained out. So their set got canceled. They drove all the way here to Michigan just to not be able to play. And that's I mean, come on. Like, that's fucked up. But apparently situations were good enough for them to come back all the way here and play basically the same area, same city, for this Miss Michigan Metal Battle for the Crown show. And they have been announced to play Michigan Metal Fest again this year. And that was I think the first show I went to this year. Absolutely fucking amazing. First time seeing some of Casket's new songs live. And it just fucking, it was an amazing night. Preston and I got to hang out with all the bands. Like, we got to meet the Casket Robbery. I think it was their drummer I was talking to. Absolutely amazing. He's kind of newer, and all that, and he was great. Like, the whole fucking every aspect of every situation of that show was fantastic. Absolutely amazing. And then we jump to the beginning of March. So at the beginning of March, what did I go alone? Yeah, I think I went alone to a show. One that anyone that follows me or Convalescence or a lot of the bands that have been on this show The next show that I went to was on March. Fuck. It was March 10th. Friday, March 10th at the Music Box in Jackson, Michigan. Shout out to the Music Box. Amazing venue. I absolutely loved it. I've been there like 3-4 times now. Every time I've been there, I loved it. Had a great time. That show was the first night of the No Survivors tour, the Convalescence headlining tour, and on every date featuring Ignominious and Casket Robbery. So I went there. I was not alone. I was not alone. I was with Aaron. Aaron was with me that night. And we had an absolute amazing time chatting with Colin from Ignominious, everybody from Casket Robbery, and of course the Convalescence. It was the first night of the No Survivors tour. Music Box Jackson, Michigan. It was fucking incredible. Like, Aaron and I left that show howling. Like, we were just like, that shit was the mad notes, yo. Like, we had a great fucking time. I broke my upper lip. Like, I felt like I kind of like I wasn't even in the pit really, and I kind of just got pushed and like fell, but never actually hit the ground because everyone just caught me and put me back up. But at some point in that process, I think I caught an elbow a little bit or something by accident to the face. And my upper lip like was cracked the fuck open for like 2 weeks. Not 2 weeks, but like it was fucked up for a minute there. But I was like, if you leave a metal show not bleeding, did you even go to a metal show? Like, come on now. Like, it was fantastic. It was great. That's where we got our newest member of the Crypt crew here. This little Casket Robbery voodoo doll, handmade by Megan, the lead vocalist. Absolutely incredible work. Like, look at this. All these, hear that? All the little bells and whistles on it. Like, it's just, and then even this right here. Where is it? There we go. Even that little tag is a little like, what does it say? Handcrafted with love and witchcraft. Oh my God. Love you, Megan. Love you, Casket Robbery. This is our new guy. We don't have a name for him yet. I don't have a name for him yet. So if you got a name for this guy, something metal as fuck, description below or comments below. Comment the name. We'll do a poll or something on YouTube. We need a name for this guy because we got Crypt Keeper, we got Sword of Dogman, we got Bigfoot, we got Jay and Silent Bob, we got Alexi, we got Eddie, we got Ozzy, we got Joker, we got all the Cannibal Corpse Rogue Gallery, we got another Eddie, Goosebumps masks, more Eddies. What are we gonna call this guy? Is he the Darkness? Is he the Lost One? What is he? You know, come up with something. Is he the Crypt? Like, what is? We already got the Crypt Keeper, so we need a different name for him or for that one. So, comment below if you got a name for that one. She only made 3 of those for the tour, and I'm under the impression that she sold out of them the first night. So anybody seeing this right now from Michigan that also got one of these, let me know in the comments below as well. Reach out to me. I'd love to know. She said they sold out the first night. First night was in Michigan. So that means only people in Michigan got a chance to get these. Amazing. And I wish Aaron were here right now because he got one of her amazing necklaces. Links to all things Casket. I'm going to write that down right now so I don't forget. Link Casket. I should just be doing this live. Yeah, like she makes some incredible handmade merch and she does these like necklaces that are like coffin nails in the necklace. Like that's what the pendant is. And Aaron got one. It looks fantastic. I've been thinking about getting one for a long time, so I probably should. sometime soon. I got, everybody knows I got the scythe right here, but the coffin nail would be pretty fucking sick too. So yeah. Uh in any case, that was an amazing show. We had an amazing time. We saw everybody we wanted to see. Music Box, as always, was spectacular. And, that first night of the No Survivors tour was simply fucking incredible. Which brings us to the next bit of the story. So it's we see Casket Robbery at the beginning of February. Then we see Casket Robbery again, but along with Convalescence, Ignominious, and many more on the 10th, March 10th. Right? Yeah, something like that. So getting into the reason why we haven't been posting as much, the reason why I've been so backlogged. So I guess, yeah, I during all of that, I got a job. And it was actually during that week of March 10th that wait. No, it was the week before that I really started that job. And it's at I work. I don't want to, I'm actually really, really excited about this opportunity, and it's a really great thing. I work for a store. I work at a store in Lansing, soon to be open at the time of this recording. Hopefully by the time this comes out, maybe it'll even be open. It's just a few days away, I think, but called Sapura, Sapura. Look it up, SapuraLife.com. And it is a dispensary here in Michigan, recreational dispensary, and we do things quite a bit differently. Trust me, I've been to a lot of dispensaries in my area, and this one is different than any other by far. And it's a really great place. I'm part of a team that is literally opening a brand new store. It's why it's not open yet. And I've been able to spend some time interacting with not only the people that will be my higher ups, but also the people that will be my direct, coworkers and all that stuff. And I have been in and working with cannabis, weed, whatever the fuck you want to call it, since I don't know, since 2009 or 10. So almost 15 years now. I've been doing this shit in the terms of helping growers, helping processors, working in grows. I've been doing it all. I've been in this shit. Working in head shops. Y'all know this podcast. Some of the first episodes of this podcast took place in the back room of a fucking head shop that I was manager of and Preston worked at. So it's always been a thing. And so I'm not really going to get into it yet, but to say this job means a lot to me would be a wild understatement. And to say that the people that I've met that are going to be my team and the location of the business, I don't know, everything has just surpassed any expectation I could have had. Everybody, every single one of them has been just nothing but nice to me and just wonderful. We work well together. I don't know.
I feel like our store manager, the hiring manager, shout out to you. His name is Josh. He he saw pieces of a puzzle that we didn't, and he was able to put them together. Like, I don't know, I don't know. It's just a really cool experience. And it's just been a lot of fun getting to know everyone. But again, I've already alluded to the fact that the Lansing store is not actually open yet at the time of this recording, at least. So, going back to the reason why we haven't been releasing as much is because as a result of that, I've had to train in a different store. That store is located an hour away. So for many, many days over the past month, I have, had a 2-hour commute. And a lot of those days were my shift was like 2-ish to like 9-ish. 2-ish to like 10-ish. Yeah, actually like 2-ish to like 10-ish. So like I have to leave by 12:31 and I don't get home till 11:30 at night. It's kind of hard to schedule podcasts during that time. So as a result, for the last month, because usually people like to, do podcasts around like 7, 8 o'clock at night, which is when I like to do them too. It's like kind of like the golden hour for them. But it's a little bit harder to schedule around that because nobody really wants to get on a podcast and talk about metal at noon, or 11 a.m. So that's kind of why there hasn't been hardly anything released in the month of March. Now you have the reason. And again, like I said earlier, the store here in Lansing will be opening very, very, very soon. So my schedule will be a lot more regular and everything else will be a lot more regular. Kind of luckily, we just like took that month off and I happen to have been sitting on so many things that I can kind of start slow rolling things out now while things become more regular. But the other part of that, though, that really bummed me out, kind of the fact that we weren't able to do anything much in March, the fact that I'm doing this alone right now really bums me out, kind of, because we actually had something really huge to celebrate. The first week of March 2023 marked the 5-year anniversary of the first episode of this podcast. So this podcast is officially 5 years and 1 month old.
It's not a good day to be a bad guy.
What's up, metalheads? This is Wayne.
And Michelle.
And we are from the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. And you are listening to
Burton and Aaron on the Lost in the Dark podcast.
Raise your horns.
At least roughly at the time of this recording. 5 fucking years. And this is why it sucks sitting here doing this alone right now, that I have nobody to play off of. Like, I wish more than anyone in the world, Aaron and Preston would be here, because they're the ones that have done it with me for this last 5 years. They would be the ones to sit there and react and go, oh my God, I can't believe it's been 5 fucking years already. And quite frankly, neither can I. But I know this. I know at the beginning of this, I started this because I was in part, not only, but in part because I was influenced by other podcasts. And what a lot of those other podcasts were comedians or musicians. They were or even movie makers, even Kevin Smith, people like that. Um and what the and I've always said this. I've always said that there is no book. There's no guide that exists to be particularly successful in any particular medium. Like, you want to be a concert pianist, you want to be a rock star, you want to be a comedian, you want to be an actor, you want to be this, that podcaster, for Christ's sake. Like, you want to be any of these things. There's no fucking manual. There's no training guide. Like, you're gonna like there are people out there that will claim that there are those things, but in reality there just aren't. There are things out there that can give you more knowledge, more information. You can educate yourself. But at the end of the day, there's no guide to any of this. Everybody comes at it in a different way, from a different direction, from a different life experience, and wants to do their own thing, whatever that thing may be. There's no right or wrong way to do any of this for any artist out there at all. Anybody that might be listening to this. But what I told Preston and Aaron, and what I said back then when we started this, the one thing that I heard every musician and comedian and all those people say was that it takes about 10 years before you're good, before you can start to expect to get like really recognized. And it like it takes about 10 years to hone the craft, kind of a thing. And so that's what I told Aaron and Preston. I was like, we will reevaluate at 5 years, but I'm doing this for at least the next 10 years of my life. I was like, I'm locked in. We're doing this for 10 years, no matter what. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this for 10 years and see what happens. See what happens. And I mean, we've gotten much farther than I could have ever imagined. Again, we started, like, go back, look, try to find Lost in the Dark episode 1. There's no video. There's no video for like there's no video until COVID. Like there's a couple, like when I do like there's reaction videos. I figured out how to do a 10-minute reaction video on camera. But none of the episodes are on camera, except for the ones that Aaron and I tried to do in the cars, which some of those were actually a really good idea. We just never like worked it. We didn't do it enough to work it out. But at least the idea was good, like leaving a concert and immediately recording your reaction kind of shit, or like driving around and listening to a new album and recording your reaction to each song in the car or whatever. Like, that's kind of a good idea. Like, nobody else really does that, but we never really got it down. We just tried it once or twice or whatever, and then kind of let it go. Also, part of that is just we didn't have the equipment at the time. Or even now, quite frankly. But I mean, we have more now. We could probably pull it off better, but you get my point. It's just, I kind of told them going in, like, I'm locked in for 10 years. This is what I'm gonna do for the next 10 years, no matter what. And here we are, 5 years and 1 month in. And we have, like, I know we don't have like a huge following or anything like that or whatever, but like, we have gotten to talk to some amazing people. We have made incredible friends all across the country. We like I don't know. I don't really have words to explain to really explain how much everything that's happened because of this show. Solely because of this show was meant to me. Um for a long, long time, I felt like I was, you know, just a face in a crowd. I don't really feel much differently than that now. But mainly within the metal community, because that's the community I care about. That's the community I wanted to be a not just a part of, but like somebody that progresses it, somebody that does something in it. You know what I mean? Something that is a positive force for it in some way, shape, or form. Not just, some random headbanger or mosher, which I still am. I definitely still am. But doing this for the last 5 years and getting to talk to the people we've gotten to talk to, getting to be friends with some of the people that we've had been now are now friends with, um, has made me feel more a part of the metal community than I ever have. Even though it's small, I feel like I have a little tiny whisper. Not a voice, but a whisper, at least, in this community. And that just I don't know. All I did was start a podcast in the back of a head shop in my parents' fucking basement with, with my cousin and my best friend. And now I'm talking about we're sponsoring Toledo Death Fest and we're friends with all of these amazing people, all these amazing bands we've gotten to talk to, Convalescence, Casket Robbery, Living Dead Girl, Blood of Angels, Reflection of Flesh, War, Victims of the System, Vile Tyrant, fucking Noise Dosage Media. I can't even I'm trying to rattle them all off. I can't. There's been too many. It's insane. It's fucking insane to me how many people we've had on. Eh, yeah, it just I don't know. It's wild to me. But I also, it's also I've gotten much farther. We've gotten much farther than I ever thought we would. But I still don't, we're not really anywhere yet. I'm just thankful for where we've gotten so far. And so this is 5 years in. Let's see what happens in the next 5. You know what I'm saying? Skull, motherfuckers. So I had to address the fact that it was our 5-year anniversary in the first week of March. Funny enough, technically speaking, we actually recorded some of those episodes in January of that year. What was it? 2018? Yeah, 2018. We actually recorded some of those episodes in January of 2018. Didn't release them till March, which was hilarious because Preston was on some of those episodes. And he went on vacation down to Florida when I started releasing everything. And he's like, what the fuck, dude? And so some of those episodes I told Aaron I wouldn't release, and I did it anyway. So maybe that's why he doesn't trust me anymore. But hey, that was 5 years ago, bro. Come on. I needed content. And none of it was bad. And quite frankly, anybody listening to this right now probably hasn't heard any of those episodes. So fuck it. Not that they were bad or anything. They were bad just because we sucked at what we didn't know what we were doing, even less than we do now when we still don't. But yeah, it was a good time either way. So yeah, I definitely tricked a bunch of people into being in this with me. That's for sure. But you know, at the end of the day, high tide raises all ships, right? So at the end of the day, I think it did nothing but ultimately help all of us. Hopefully, that's what I hope at least. But moving on now from the 5-year anniversary, I'm doing this episode solo. I'm not editing anything out. This is it. This is kind of the comeback 5-year anniversary episode. This is the first episode y'all are going to see before I start rolling out all the shit I recorded before this. Again, I'm recording this one most recently. By the time you see this, probably less than a week ago. But next up okay. So now, you know, we saw casket robbery at the Miss Michigan Metal Crown show back on February 11th. Then we saw casket robbery again with Convalescence, Ignominious, and everybody else at the first date of the No Survivors tour on, I think it was March 10th. During that time, I start this new job where I have to commute an hour away. All of a sudden, my schedule is eaten up and it's a lot harder for me to schedule a podcast, which is why not a lot of podcasts got done during the month of March. Now, let's go to the end of March. Last fucking Saturday, right? Yeah, last Saturday, March 25th, where I went to the last show on the No Survivors tour. So I went to the first show back on March 10th, March 25th. I go to the last show, and they went all the fuck around the east chunk of the country. During that time, matter of fact, on March, this was 25th. So on March 24th, 23rd, 22nd, like 22nd or 21st, they even played it in Tennessee. And opening for them was our family and Victims of the System. So Victims of the System actually got to play on this tour. Okay, motherfuckers. But the show on March 25th was located at the Diesel Concert Lounge in New Baltimore, Michigan, featuring, there's a few of them I can't read, and I'm so sorry, because I saw every band that night, and they all fucking ruled. But there's a couple of their logos that I still don't know. But we got Punch Out, Distant Descend. There we go. Distant Descend. And then what do we got here? Something of Fate. I don't know. Something of Fate. Influence, Silence, Living Dead Girl, Heart of Jordan, and then of course Ignominious, Casket Robbery, and the Convalescence. Now, I will be posting videos of this show as soon as this episode gets posted, because you guys got to see this shit. It was fucking insane. One of the best shows, the best show I've seen this year by far. Hands down, no question. Absolutely no question. Ignominious, because it was Ignominious, Casket Robbery, and Convalescence had all been on tour for for over 2 weeks at this point, all around the fucking country. So they were like, and this is the last one. So this is when they're just like, let's give it all. You know what I mean? And everybody did. Everyone gave it their all that night. Everyone fucking destroyed. Like Ignominious with the fucking whale. Kaskarabi, huge. This is something I definitely want to mention. Huge shout out to Megan from Casket Robbery. All right. She had to go to the ER just a few days prior to this show because of she got bronchitis. So she was in the fucking hospital just a few days before. She actually had, I just told you they played with Victims of the System. She actually had to miss the Victims of the System show because she was in the hospital. It was on that day. It was the Wednesday before that Saturday, whatever. And the Saturday was the 25th. So whatever date that was. She actually had to miss that show. But yet she shows up in motherfucking Detroit and fucking destroys, dude. Like, this was like flu-stricken Michael Jordan shit. Like, this was like, I can't, like, I went up to her, like, as soon as I walked in, I saw her at the merch booth, and I went up to her to talk to her and say hi and everything and all that. And I could tell, like, she didn't want to, she was resting her voice. She didn't want to talk much. I could tell that right away. And then she goes up on stage and fucking rips it, yo. She fucking rips that shit. She even has Keith come out with her. They do the duet. She comes out during that. Dude, the fucking, and then when Convalescence is there at the very end, they got Ignominious, Casket Robbery, Convalescence. Everybody's on stage. It was a fucking hometown throwdown showdown party. Like, it was nuts. It was absolutely insane. Living Dead Girl fucking killed it, as they always do. Love Living Dead Girl. Shout out to Molly. Shout out to everybody in that band. Fucking, they were always very kind to us, and they were very kind that night. Like, like they fucking rock. And they absolutely destroy every set that they do. Sound fantastic. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. I loved it when they played Skater Boy. I was like, ah! Like, that shit was the mad notes, yo. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing show. The No Survivors tour. And not only that, I talked to everybody I could that night. And every single one of them told me that it was just an amazing tour altogether. So I'm just so happy for everyone that they had an amazing tour. Amazing. The two shows that I saw of that tour, unfucking real. Unfucking real. Like, some of the best shit I've seen in a while. And it's none of these bands are anywhere close to letting up. They will all be on ferocious tours over the next year, or the rest of the next year. They will all be out there releasing new music, on tour, everything over the next year. So be sure to check them all out. Yeah, like, absolutely fucking amazing. And so that kind of brings us to now, because that show was literally last Saturday, I think. Yeah, that show was like last Saturday. So that brings us to now. And that's about all I got. I just wanted to give everybody an update, explanation of what's been going on, why nothing new has come out, all this stuff. And yeah, I just wanted to let everybody know what was up, and do my, I guess this would be my first solo episode on camera. So I hope it was all right. I hope you all enjoyed. So yeah, I just been going to some shows, and working, and the only reason why the working interfered with the podcasting was because it was so far away. Now, though, that should be over, and things will be a little bit more normal and back, and I'll be able to schedule people on a normal schedule. So anybody seeing this right now that wants to be on the show, reach out, Facebook, Instagram, as always, or even on here. But again, YouTube doesn't like, oh shit, my fingers are falling off. But again, YouTube doesn't really like notify me when I get anything. So like Instagram, Facebook, that those things notify me. So I'll see those a lot quicker, especially Instagram. So reach out to Lost in the Dark Podcast on any of those things, or even reach out on Gmail, lostinthedarkpodcast@gmail.com. But of course, at some point in this episode, you saw ads for our friends in the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast, as well as my other podcast, Follow the Reaper, the new paranormal podcast I started. So if any of you have a personal first or secondhand paranormal encounter that you would like shared on the show, please reach out. Again, that's another one that's been on hold for this month, so there's only like a few episodes out right now, but I'll be getting another one out very, very soon. So I guess, yeah, I was just here to get everyone caught up. So that's this one for the rest of this week. And next week I'll be putting out like kind of new episodes to you, but ones that were recorded a while ago. I'll take care of all that in the intros and outros of those episodes. But then after that, we'll be back to a more normal schedule. So thank you all so much for bearing with us. Everyone that has ever supported this show, been a fan, watched it, liked it, commented, anything at all. Y'all have no idea what the fuck you mean to me, because like it's crazy to me that anybody even ever sees this shit. So like you're the ones that keep me going. For sure. Like, I'm not joking at all. Like, this is real. Like, I don't know why anybody would watch this, but I love it. And I love all of you. So, that's going to do it for this episode, my friends. And as always, we'll be back again very soon with much, much more. Until then, raise your horns and bang your goddamn heads. I love you all to death. And skull, my friends, to 5 fucking years of being lost in the dark. Love you all to death. Good night.
Lost in the dark.